minutes. But hey guys, so I'm here today and I'm recording on my PC and I'm kind of doing a different video. I thought I would try and get HITFILM Pro. For you guys that don't know what it is, it's video editing software. It's a bit of a lesser known brand where the general forerunners are basically Premiere Pro, After Effects, which is compositing software, and then you have Sony Vegas, which is a combination of those two. But we also have HITFILM, and this is a bit of a different program. This is actually my first time even logging into it, testing it out. So I thought I'd kind of do like a jump in kind of first impressions of the program. I'm not sure what I'm going to be expecting. I don't really know what will be different and what will be the same. I haven't read anything on it beforehand. I thought I'd just go ahead and take a look at it blindly and kind of see what happens and kind of how it goes. So I got my recording software. It's popping up. I'm using OBS Studio. It works well. And okay, so you come up with this kind of cool menu. That's kind of nice. You have some 3D HUD elements. What if I click on that? Drag this over here, which is interesting. So you got stuff like that going on right now. For free. And while I'm here, I'm just gonna take a look at it. Nope. Here we go. And let's see, because I'm not too sure what's gonna be different. Let's see if next gen supports so 8K. Okay. Audio mixer. Nothing new with that. 3D tiling. With Boris FX. Okay, that's nothing new. So I guess there is some cool stuff. I'm gonna just jump right into it. Right off the bat, we've got J.J. Abrams. I have optical flares from Video Copilot to do that. And so it looks like you have Mocha tracking, which is nice. And you have 3D compositing. So you guys that are familiar with it, I guess you won't need Element 3D or some other program to pop into, After Effects to use. And I think that's becoming a lot more regular with a lot of these, newer, video editing programs and compositing software. It's that there's more integrated 3D stuff, and not just, third market plugins that you can use, but in the actual product itself. I know that Sony Vegas, the new Sony Vegas by the new company that owns it now, they've got integrated 3D if I'm not mistaken. And I guess HITFILM Pro also does. So right off the bat, that's kind of nice. Let's open up a new project. Okay. So we have our different templates. It's nice and easy. You have Instagram. Let's just go with the 1080p 29 by... That's good. Rendering, anti-aliasing. Okay, so you have reflection maps and shadow map sizes. And this stuff is nice. Okay. This is actually really cool so far. So, when you come to the main setting, you get to pick all your stuff. And your audio sample rate, your rendering. And you have two options. Start compositing, start editing. I'm pretty sure I can swap between those two sometime, but let's start with start editing. I'm not going to go into compositing quite yet. And let's see what happens. Okay. So here we are. We have different views. Very interesting. So we have our media. Let's see if we can pop up a I'm gonna see if I can drag in a video clip. Let's do some Titanfall stuff, and let's see kind of what we can do here. So let's drag in. Where do I drag it into? That's a good question. Because I'm a fully freshened noob, so we're gonna import it instead. Okay, that works. Let's see. Titanfall 2. It should come up with a folder. And I have a bunch of stuff. So let's go like that. Select, why not 3 for the hell of it. Okay. So we managed to successfully import, or I managed to successfully import some stuff. It's actually telling me some nice little pieces on the side. So it tells me what is filmed at, resolution, stereo, the frame rate. What do we got here? So we got our editing profile stuff and just some, I guess, media properties. One thing I'm going to point out right away, I'm going to be honest, I actually really like how this program looks. It's nice looking. To give you some example, if I popped open Sony Vegas and Premiere Pro, let's see if I can pop that open. I like this one already. I think probably a bit more in terms of default layout. And now I know you can customize it in Premiere Pro and I believe in Sony Vegas to some extent, but it's interesting to see how it already looks. It feels like it flows very nicely. And I'm more of a Sony Vegas dude. I started out with Sony Vegas for video editing for, I think, maybe 4 years before I even got into Premiere Pro. And so I'm really used to that layout. So when I see something that looks like Sony Vegas, I'm happy. And this is a bit more Sony Vegas-like than Premiere Pro. And Premiere Pro, in complete honesty, love the program, but I only really use After Effects because Premiere Pro pisses me off for a variety of reasons. And in that, I can do everything I want to do in After Effects that I can do in Premiere Pro. Some stuff I use Premiere Pro with, but not a variety of stuff. Anyway, so not talking about Premiere Pro today, but to give you some example, yeah, do that, and it looks a bit different. I'm gonna close some of these guys. But in terms of, this is how it looks, and then you got that. It's a bit more colorful, which I kind of do like, and I like the blue tones that we got going on there. I got this still open, Command Conquer, because Command Conquer is great. I got my AME error logs because those did not want to render, but anyways, though, that's what it looks like in comparison, to kind of give you a look between Premiere Pro and HITFILM Pro. And then I'll do a comparison between Sony Vegas 14, which is the newest version. So that's how it looks. So overall, this program is a lot cleaner right off the bat. That's one thing I want to point out. In my personal taste, it has a nicer aesthetic look. Enough with that though. Let's try and actually. Okay, so we can drag and drop. Okay, that's an interesting color. Different from the clips you're adding. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Okay, so we got a timeline bar encoder here, and right off the bat, it looks nice. Let's try previewing this. Let's see if it builds the audio properly, because it doesn't sound like it is. And we'll close these two, because we don't need them open. And so, okay, you can make a compositing shot. And so do we have our keyframes working in? Okay, so we do NB. Okay, so another thing right off the bat I've noticed, I can't use control, or can't use alt and the scroll wheel on my mouse to scroll in. Oh, it's control. What the fuck? Alright, that's weird. That's right off the bat really strange. Now we got some viewers, we have RGB straight. That's all cool. Full, we'll go half, and set screen. And I can also set my other monitor as my screen right off the bat. That's kind of nice. I'm gonna change that back though. So we got that going right now. So it looks like it plays perfectly normal. And it looks all right. So let's pause that. Let's go control instead to zoom out. And let's say, I want to use cut. I want to cut something. Now it's not, it is Command C. It's not Command C, it's just C. So it's kind of like Premiere Pro, where you can just, hold up. Okay. C. That doesn't do anything, but it turns out if you click this, it's a bit slow. That's one thing I've noticed, and I don't have any other major programs going on. Yeah, it's a bit slow, but that's all right. When it turns out, you know, most video editing programs they can be a bit slow sometimes. So it turns out if you want to cut something, you can't go see a shortcut like on Premiere Pro, but there's this bar that lights up, and it's red. You click on it, and now, oh, that's too much power. Oh God. Okay. Great power comes little responsibility. I just turned my clip into sushi. God. Oh, that's not good. Oh, now I can drag it. Okay. Ah. So it does go to the slice tool. I understand now. So you got these slice tool things. All the control cuts actually work fine. Good. So it's actually wherever you click on it. Bam. Like that. And then V. And then move this guy. Say I want to do that. And I can scroll out. Be all cool. And let's import our second piece of footage. It imports it very nicely. And onto the timeline. It's not an asshole like Premiere Pro. That's important. And say I want to mute that. There we go. So now I cutted it. You know. Bam. So we got a really basic cut and some imported footage. And what else we got? We got a rolling edit. Okay, so we got rate stretch, ripple delete, slide tool, slip, slice, and a drag tool. So these are all things, if you're familiar with Premiere Pro, they all have them. I want to see what this rate stretch tool does. Okay, so you got your new duration, you got your mixed up duration. Do that. So now you are I think this is sped up. It should be sped up. So we got that, which is cool. So right off the bat, it's pretty similar to Premiere Pro. I'm gonna denote that right now. Now you got your effects. So ooh, this is cool. Okay, so you got your media import, right? Different categories. A lot about no one cares about that. You have your tracks. Insert, delete. We can insert one. Oh no, it does the same thing. Okay, can I double click? It automatically has the waveforms which is very nice for the audio, and that's fantastic. So this is like Premiere Pro right now. Now let's go into effects. Say we're getting all fed up with this and we want to do something. Video cleanups. We can de-interlace it. That's nice. Why don't we try that? Because I have interlaced footage that looks like crap, and I can't drag it in. There we go. Delete these guys. Now this is interlaced, if I do believe so. Let's try this out. As you can see, it's interlaced pretty badly when I play through it. My capture card is unfortunately being bad right now, and it doesn't look too good. So I have to do that too. But you'll kind of see the amount of of half frames going on there, especially when you drop. At least I could before. Anyways, let's see if we can clean up. And if that you can do that, that's nice. I really don't de-interlace anything. Controls. I usually don't do it too often because I don't like recording in interlace instead of progressive scan. I don't do it, so that's not looking right. And that's looking a bit better, but you know, in total, yeah, you can do this stuff in Premiere Pro. You can do this in Sony Vegas. It's not something that is specific to this. Obviously, if you're into video editing, you know that. Any case, though, we got de-interlace. That's cool. You can see it kind of makes a difference just right off the bat in the preview. Let's delete that. Okay, so we got our transforms. We have our rotations going on. Woo! And you got your absolute. Let's reset this to 0, not 90 degrees, 0 degrees. Sliders. That's cool. And we got scales. So of course. Oh, can I go back? Hold up. There we go. Let's bump that back to 100. And do we have keyframes? Now this is a very interesting question. Can we get keyframe for these guys? We have opacity, right? Easy. And we have anchor points. So that's all standard in any software you use, which is great. And you have clip properties, so you have your different compositing modes. So, you know, you feel like you're tripping acid, you can do that, or, you know, lighten up your day, or soft light where you have nothing because I don't have an underlying video clip, or you can, you know, go like color, which doesn't do anything again. So we got that. That's cool. Let's go back to effects and let's just, what are presets? So we got 2D effects. We got a vignette, a green screen key, a hologram. And how do I make new layers? Layers. Oh, no. No. Whoa. Okay, that was crazy. No right clicking. Viewer. Export. Controls. Media. Proxy. You can make proxies. New. Plane. Yes. Alright. So it's a bit of learning thingy, you know. Wow. Okay. Anyways, though, standard effects, they're never going to be that good unless you're using something like Adobe After Effects, and you can get away with that because you can really mix and match and make them look really cool. But I just want to see how it works, and I'm going to kind of speed this up a bit. And let's see. I'm just gonna. That's too high. These are presets. And I just want to see what we have for color correction, just really fast. I want to get the color wheels going, color correction wheels, and Okay, so we got this. It's, I don't know why I have to get this open. Whoa. Okay, that kind of sucks. So you got your midtones, high tones, and your other jazz. So now it looks like you have too much blue. You got your hues. That's great. And your saturation, your strength of it. Lightness, and you have your midtones and your master controls. So you can change what your white balance is. And now your footage looks like complete shit, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we now know that color correction is there. And then you can go like bam, bam, bam. All right. What does this button do? Insert 2D effects. Particle simulation. Okay, this is kind of cool. Lighting and lens flares. Okay. Now that I saw lighting and lens flares, I have to look at those quickly because I'm J.J. Abrams' biggest fan. Lens dirt. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so you can get lens dirt. You know, have some fun. You can go threshold. And that's not bad. That's kind of cool. Okay. Right now, this is cool. This is really cool. For being something that you just get inside of a program, starting off, that's nice. And this is actually something that you don't have presets for in Vegas or Premiere Pro. You don't have those. And it doesn't look too bad. All it is just basically a duplication of the footage, and it's delayed and it's offset with some hexagonal circles around. But it works. Kind of interesting. That's just a thing you can just straight on add inside the program right off the bat. I know in third-party programs or plugins like Video Copilot Lens Flares, you can get lens dirt and lens grunge and all this different stuff on it. But it's cool that you can do it in this right off the bat. And you can even have a dirt map. So you have different seed ratios. So, you know, that type of thing. You can go add or overlay, right? But we got that. That's cool. I like this thing. It's just kind of, you can add any effects you want just right up by clicking on that, which is kind of nice. So we got lens flares. So I'm going to go ahead and just go into another lens flare. And that's cool. There's already a lens flare on the footage because it's Titanfall 2 and it's like J.J. Abrams produced it. But basically it's just brightness going on. That's all that's really happening. Blur flare. Oh, cool. So it's drop down flare kind of style, which is great. And if you feel like really going crazy, you know, but that's interesting. And you can, of course, change the threshold. So you got a drop down flare. You know, you obviously have to play with these quite a bit to make them look good. You can't just drop them into something and expect it to look all right. And if you do, it's not going to look very good. But it doesn't look that bad. So we got that. We got that going on. We got lens flares. And I'm just looking through some of the stuff that looks interesting. So we got color grading. We have LUTs, LUTs. Day for night. That's cool. So we got our day for night setting right off the bat. It doesn't look super great, but I mean, for a preset that takes no time to apply, cool. We got 360-degree video. I feel like that would crash my PC if something is going to crash my PC. Oh, gosh. And that's cool. Because you get 360-degree video. Fantastic. So you got 360-degree stuff. I haven't had any experience with that, so I'm sure there's some way of doing it, and I have no idea. How many times are we going on now? 14, 26. All right. We'll get through this faster. Chroma UV blur. We have matte enhances, so you have all your different keying stuff. We have a hue and RGB key. That's kind of nice. And we have a luminescence key. We have gradients and fills. That's standard. We have grunges, so we have shakes. We have a shake. Hey, this is my first crash of the program. Well, let's restart. Okay, so I recovered it. That's cool. We'll call this YouTube test. YouTube test. I love my spelling. Test. And we're back on this Rebellion HITFILM studio. Wait a second. What's going on here? What is it telling me that they made the... They did not make that with... No. I didn't think so. I didn't think so. That's fantastic. I do not know what's going on here. Those are bad Stormtrooper helmets. Anyways, we'll go back to our project. Oh my god. Hey, we still got it too. Alright, so stepping back where we left off. I can't remember what made it crash. Something did. Ooh, we have Boris Continuum. Okay, so we have some Boris Continuum stuff. It's kind of nice. I don't think it installed any of my plugins in too. I hope not, because that would kind of mistreat what the review's all about in the first impressions. Because I have all the Boris crap. It's kind of nice, actually, if you guys haven't gotten it. Controls. Alright, so we were back at the anaerobic lens flare. I think I went down to lights and flares, or it was keying, grunging, and I went to shake, and it destroyed the program. You have scan lines, basic. These are all really basic effects. So I'm just looking at some that seem to point out. You have glow. You know, glow's cool. Glow's easy to do. You pop it in. Auto lens flares. Oh. Okay, so this is automatic lens flares. J.J. Abrams would be very impressed. I like how the lens flares are just kind of switching. Whoosh. To be fair, well, it looks a bit stupid. It's interesting that they can do that. Obviously, they're just probably matching for luminescence and the amount of light you're looking for, but it's not bad. It tracks it to an appropriate degree, which is kind of cool. But it's not really tracking when you're looking for not true tracking. Anyway, so that's cool. So you got that, which is a auto lens flare, and I'm sure that you can have lots of different things, and you can change your, oh god, you got lots of lens flares. That's cool. Because, okay, now this is a bit misstrued, because like I said, we already got lens flares in this shot. But it's alright. You have a lot of different lens flare presets. So, Video Copilot lens flares, less needed, if you feel like it. Although Video Copilot lens flares, you can't really beat them. You can make whatever lens flare you want, and that's why it's so great. In any case, so we got that. We have Mocha. Okay, so we have Mocha tracking, and we have particle simulation. We have scenes, we have scopes, vector scopes, waveforms. Okay, sharpen, unscale. We have temporal, motion trails, speed, time displacement. I feel like seeing what motion trails are. Basically, it's just, okay, pretty standard. So you have some stuff like that, and you have warp, video cleanup, temporal, which was that, and you got some audio stuff. So you have, you know, your balance, your pitch, your channel levels, echo, equalizer, pitch, and then telephone. I don't know what telephone is. And then you have tone and all that jazz. You have blurs, motion blur, that's cool. Boris Complete, so you have 3D options, objects from Boris Complete stuff. Not bad. Color correction, great. Color grading, not bad. Depth, distort, so you have some basic distort stuff. And you have, oh, wow. You have a lot of generate things. A wireframe, auto volumetrics, clouds, drop shadows, grid, reflection. What are clouds? Okay, so you just basically have some standard fractal noise clouds. You have grunge, halftone, jitter, lens dirt, that stuff again. Keying lens flares, light streaks, neon glue, magic bullet. That's from Red Giant. So I don't know if that's there because I installed it, because I have all the magic bullet stuff and all the Red Giant stuff, but it is here. So it could be the fact that I installed it and somehow it hit into HITFILM Pro. But you got that. And there's one more thing I just want to check here, and that's kind of blood splatter. Okay. That wasn't too interesting. Pretty underwhelming. So now we're done with that. We've gone over effects. We've gone over some basic movements within the track, waveform, how to cut them, and, you know, different stuff with that. Over transform and clip properties and effects. Now I want to see if I can get some text going on. And as a completely newbie to this program, I do not know how to do that. So I'm going to try and see if I can figure it out within a decent time frame before I go crazy. File. Property. Ooh, wait, do you... Oh. That's envelopes for audio. That's sad. Ah, I found it. Okay, it only took me like 2 minutes. And I got text down. How do you do this? No dragging. No dragging on like the normal person. Character. Okay. Click it. Text. T. No. Why do you hate me? Ah. Anyways, guys, that's where the text is. I don't know how to use it. Maybe you guys can figure it out if you ever get this program. Help me. Let's see if we can find it. Motion tracking. Ooh, masking. Masks can only be created in composite shots. Just as an FYI from reading this thing. I'm looking for text. So I'm looking through editing. Here we go. Effects and compositions. Timeline editor, audio tracks, organizing media, trimming. It does not talk about texts. Okay. A note for Mac users. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry if there's anyone using a Mac, not a Max, a Mac that's watching this. Okay. Anyways, though, doesn't talk about anything with text, so I'm gonna leave that for now. But say I'm absolutely happy with my cutting job, and let's say I just wanted to, briefly, you know, just import something else really quickly. I'm gonna go, oh, I want this one. So let's do that. Bam, like that. Cut right in. So rude. We're gonna move this closer for, there we go. And we're gonna go cut, bam. Oh, no, 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 ooh, okay. You just can't click on your footage after you cut it. And go delete. Control, because you can't use Alt, it's Control. Scrub through it. I was using interlace footage. This is good. Because now I want to see if I can make this the same size. In Premiere Pro, you could right click and you come up with the varied options, match frame to screen size or whatever the heck that's called, and basically we go bam, happy, we're all happy, it's the same size. But it's not doing that, so we're unhappy. But we can just drag it, you know, that's the hack job. It's not advisable to do that. But we got that. Now, we're also happy right now that we just have to have a video transition. We're gonna do motion. Ooh, okay. Now we got this going on. Like that. That's sliding. But our footage doesn't look good enough, so, well, we obviously have to have some color correction. So, we're gonna go auto color. And then for this one, we're just gonna fuck it up with a lens flare. Why? Because unfortunately, you need them. And we're gonna go with leaf color. And now you can see our footage is looking very professional and well done, but that's not good enough. So we're gonna go ahead and even stretch this guy back. So now it's like, whoa. And it's fast. Too fast. So we're gonna stretch it out a bit more. It's a bit faster. And we've got our amazing looking clip. Now let's see if I can figure out how to make this text work. Characters. Click, 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 click. No. I do not know what I'm doing with that. No text there. Alright, we made our wonderful looking clip. This has been the editing portion of the video. So now, let's go into the compositing mode. So let's figure out how we go into the compositing section and really kick some ass. Control, yeah, there we go. Right click, no. Ooh. Make compositing shot. Alright, let's do it. This is kind of nice. The fact that you can do compositing inside this game, inside HITFILM Pro, it's a big plus because Adobe Dynamic Link and linking compositions inside of Premiere Pro and After Effects, it gets to be a hassle, and it's not the easiest thing to learn either. With this, you get a really fast idea of knowing what to do. So bam, we got that in. And it looks like it only imported the one clip. So it lied to me. Which is a shame. And now this part, I guess, is obviously in the composition thingy, I think. Anyway, so we are now in the compositing side of the software. And right off the bat, you have the same stuff that goes on here, which is kind of nice. And now I can change what type of text I want. Wonderful. And hey, now I got text. YOLO. This is HITFILM Pro XDDDD. And so you get stuff like that. Just cool. Whoops. And you can go back and text properties, and you can drag in new text. You have your different compositing modes, and I believe this is motion blur, which is great. Or these are, I guess, what is this going on here? Layer dimensions. So you got 3D planes. Lots of cool stuff. So you got cameras, you got 3D planes, blah, 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 blah. Let's delete that. Now let's go back to our effects. Has anything changed? That is the question. It doesn't look like it has. But now you got compositing stuff going on here. You have graph editing values, so you can edit. I guess you can go velocity-wise, kind of like from Sony Vegas, or you can, do the graph way in After Effects, which I hate. You can do that. You have your full 3D view. Blah 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 blah. That's great, 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 great. You have your masks. Okay, so you can have tracks. Tracking. That's great. So you have tracking going in here, which isn't bad. So double points. So you have position only, and you have position, scale, and rotation. Basic standard stuff. Same in After Effects. Nothing new there. Moving on, you got your masks. If you feel like doing a mask, let's see if we can. I don't know why I kind of left that there. Delete that. Anyway, so that doesn't want to go back. It's not being very nice. And now it looks all wonky and it doesn't look very nice. So you got masks. That's cool. How to draw them? Not too sure. Then you got effects. You got scenes, parallax, projectors. All of this, the typical effects that were in here before. You have these different things, and I'm sure you also have keyframe tracking. So, like that. That's keyframe. So, bam, bam. Go to the next keyframe. This keyframe, anchor point. Do that, that. Go back in time. Bam, bam. Whoops. Okay. We just gotta like that, and anchor point that thing, and we're gonna scale it up and position. I'm not getting any of the preview viewer. Here we go. So obviously that works fine. You wouldn't do what I did in any case, but just to see that it works. So you got that going on, which is great. And you got masks, tracking, and you of course have your audio levels. That's, to be fair, probably the majority of the program. But I did see there was 3D stuff. And because there was, I want to see if I can import a 3D model, an OBJ, and see if I can use it. So let's see if we can do a 3D model. Oops. Hey, it actually came up. And these are all different things. I've got object maps going on here. That's not good. And diffusing maps. Here we go. Oops. Go up. Do one more. 3D models. And let's take in an Osprey. And these are media forms, all files. And that's a 3ds file. Let's try a 3ds file, see if it works. Not supported. Okay, but anyways, that's the compositing side. I'm gonna go ahead, go project file, and I'm gonna go. Oh, you can just apply it. That's cool. Apply. Interesting. And let's go into compositing. Working with 3D. Oh. So you got all your standard 3D stuff. I want to see if I can import a 3D. Import 3D objects. Okay. So I'm just on the support page right now on the reference manual. And to import a 3D model, click the drop down arrow on the import menu and choose 3D model import. Okay. Click on the drop down arrow on the import button. Okay. So you got 3D cap. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so you can do all this jazz. 3D models. And so you have different groups. You have your groups, materials, and advanced. Okay, so I think, to be fair, the program so far has been pretty basic. It's had all the same features that a lot of the other programs have had. Now we're getting into the part where it's becoming a bit unique, in that it's not just how it looks anymore, but it's some of the functionality that some programs just don't have, at least right off the box. And this is really nice. So you have 3ds, LOL, OBJ, okay, that's good. So you basically have all of them. It's nice, very nice. And now we're going to try importing a 3D object and seeing what we can do with it, just briefly. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import a Osprey because it's a 3ds file. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I don't know if it has any diffuse or materials or anything else going on in it. But that's what it looks like. Now we have different groups. We have materials. And we have our UV mapping. So you have all the same stuff here, which is really nice. It's actually pretty advanced for being in a video compositing software suite, which is really nice though too, because there aren't a lot of programs. Well, the main program doesn't support that unless you have 3D third-party software, which is After Effects, and you'd have to have probably Element 3D or ZWorks or some other form of 3D compositing thing inside of it for importing your own 3D models. And the other programs, which are Sony Vegas, only the very newest one I believe supports that. I'm not sure what to extent, and this one does. Aside from that, not really any others have that ability, especially included in them, and that's something that After Effects definitely lacks. But it is, when it comes down to it, a 2D compositing software, so it's not going to be as emphasized on that. So the fact that all these especially this one, the HITFILM Pro, being a 2D compositing software and video editing suite, that it has 3D capabilities where you can import your own 3D objects, it's nice. Not just 2D, two-dimensional 3D jazz going on with your basic 3D stuff that After Effects supports, but advanced 3D with your own objects and your own light maps and your own shaders going on, all that stuff, which is really nice. Whether or not the prevalence in having that in a program like this, it comes down to personal taste, especially when you have node-based programs like Nuke to do a lot of these advanced 3D compositing for you. That's kind of where you just start to draw the line and ask yourself, which program should I use for 3D editing? Anyways, that's not the course of this video. I'm getting carried away. So we got this. Ambient color. That's an alright select color. It's basic. You can drag it around, up, down, reset, opacity. So these are the different textures, and you can load in your maps and everything else. For the sake of this, so it highlights all the things, and you can go OK. So it tells you how many faces there are, and let me drag it right in. So we got this front-facing view. Now let's add a camera. And we also have animation groups too. That's kind of nice. I don't have any animated models. I have rigged models, which I guess are animatable, but I'm not going to import those right now. Those are actually from Video Copilot's Jet Strike, I think. And let's see if we can figure out how to add in a camera. Go import new folder, import. Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of all this stuff. Oh wait. Okay, so that is the object, the infamous thing. And of course, learning a compositing software just first time and giving a preview of it, and figuring out where to get and find all the stuff, it's harder to do first off. And here is your masks are. That's kind of nice. It's a bit hard to find first time, so I'm gonna see viewer. I probably am gonna find it up here. So you have your reflections, motion. Okay, this is nice. And you got full RGB, local still, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to figure out how to import a camera quickly, see if we can spin this thing around, and then I think I'll conclude it there. Let's do this. Let's do this. The render pipeline. And then I will close it up there, and visual effects. That's cool. No! That's too many. Working in 3D. Here we go. Activated 3D camera. Some of this stuff looks really cool. Wow. Okay. I do not know what's going on. Frankly, I hate learning new software. I have to do it quite a bit, and it's always annoying. But I'm gonna skip the camera part. In essence, it's gonna be the same thing as, you know, After Effects with cameras and being able to spin around and everything. It's the fact that it's kind of like having Element 3D already inside your workflow in a program like HITFILM Pro. So instead of having to go and buy it and install it, and then having to use a third-party program, basically you have the luxury of inside HITFILM Pro to be using that automatically. Now, I went through all of the program, and I guess I'll just kind of close up with some of my, you know, thoughts at the end, just coming right from what I'm thinking right now. Overall, it's a nice looking program. Now for the cost, is it justifiable? That's on a per basis, and it depends what you need. How does it compare to the other video compositing and video editing programs out there? In complete fairness, it's pretty average. It's nothing special. There are some cool gimmicky effects and presets that you have. You have the ability of having a 3D suite that's fully editable for 3D models inside it, which is really nice. But aside from those two features, basically just one feature, which is, you know, the editability of 3D objects, it's not super practical. The only other thing that I can really point out that it does have going for it is the fact that it is both an editing and compositing program in one program. You aren't really switching between the two. I guess you are, but it's within the same program. So you're not opening up Premiere Pro and After Effects, which is kind of nice in some respects, but also limiting in others in that it doesn't lack the full diversification that Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects in combination have, which is going to happen when you do combine the two types of video editing into one program. It's what happened with, you know, Sony Vegas 2. So you're going to have that happening. In terms of how it looks, how it feels, how it works, it's not bad. again, per basis, in that it really depends where you're coming from, what programs do you use before in the past, and what's the layout that you used. Keyboard shortcuts, all that jazz. It's going to change. Some of it changes. A lot of it feels really familiar when I'm using Premiere Pro in this program. So there's a lot of similarities between the two. And really, it looks like it's just trying to copy it. And copy it in the sense that it's really the only proper way you can do it, so they're just trying to do it the proper way. In that, it's not a bad program. Would I suggest going out to the store or purchasing it or, getting it? I really wouldn't see a reason to, especially when you already have programs that can do that for you. If you're really hardcore on 3D editing and 3D compositing in your software with 3D models, it's not bad. You can do that in Sony Vegas Pro, but also instead of going out and purchasing something in software like this, there's always an alternative, getting something like Element 3D from Video Copilot and using it with After Effects. That's an alternative. Or if you are absolutely full-fledged into 3D programming, or 3D programming, I'm talking about something totally different here. I don't even know what I'm talking about for that. But you're looking to do 3D editing and 3D stuff and compositing in videos, there's a lot of better alternatives, in that this is just a mere plugin for a program when you have entire programs like Nuke that are dedicated for this kind of thing. So in that, I leave it with you guys. I hope you found it kind of enjoyable. It's a pretty long video, but for getting an honest and raw first impression video, trying it out for the first time from someone that I've used a lot of these programs before, so I have a general idea of what I'm doing, to give you guys an example of what you're getting into if you ever wanted to get something like this. Final thoughts, final words. I don't think there's a reason to get it. Don't waste your money on it. Don't waste your time on it. It's cool, and for some people, I am certainly sure it works, and for some reasons, it's certainly better than others. I know this isn't in any way a detailed review, and that there's lots of things I probably forgot about that maybe are really great features that this program does that other programs don't do. But in general, from my raw first impressions, it's nothing out of the ordinary and nothing special. So with that, I leave you guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll maybe try doing something similar to this, maybe in some other programs if I end up trying them out, if you guys like them and if there's enough popularity for these. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.